Peace be upon you, grade 10, how's life? This is the last part, this is video number 3 and the last part about the metamorphosis. Now I'm going to show you some questions that we're going to work on starting from page 100 in your books till the end of the selection. Let's have a look on the questions that you're going to work on. What does the motivation Gregor receives from his family, career, and himself? And to find answers for that question, you have to look at lines about 385, 398. Consider these lines in order to find answer for that question. The coming question, how do these lines reinforce the theme? Which questions these lines starting from 243 till 249? Then what inference can you make about the way the chief clerk, Gregor's mother, and his father react after seeing Gregor? So this is concerning line 403, 416. Okay, what does Kafka reveal to readers about society's opinion of workers? How do your revelation develop the theme? Consider the rest of the questions. You can pause the video in order to write down the questions and the lines that you have to consider. And let's consider this page in your book, page 100, to answer the question about the theme. Okay, the theme, of course, the main theme here is isolation. So how is isolation is reinforced here in lines starting from 244 till 248. And if you have a look on these lines, so he never goes out. So consider these lines. Let's highlight them. He never goes out in the evening. He's been in town for a week now, but stayed home every evening. He sits, so till the end of that part, okay, till this part. So it enhances, of course, the theme of isolation. When his father says, Gregor only thinks about work and explains to the clerk how Gregor rarely goes out in the evening, which reinforces the theme that corporations and their demands on workers have caused the people to become isolated and unsocial. Now it's talking about companies, it's talking about modern life and how corporates demean their workers or occupy their workers all the time, so that they have turned to be isolated and unsocial because no time to do something else except working. Let's have a look on page 101. Yes, this page, and consider lines 256, 264. To answer that question, what Kafka's revealing to readers about society's opinions of workers? To find out the answer of that question, consider this part starting from well. So here the chief clerk is talking to his mother, or Gregor's mother, and he's talking about the business considerations. Consider this part, please. Well, I can't think of any other way of explaining it, said the chief clerk. I hope it's nothing serious. But on the other hand, and this reveals contradiction, of course, he's going to mention something contradicting to the first idea, which is, I must say that if we people in commerce ever become slightly unwell, then fortunately or unfortunately, as you like, we simply have to overcome it because of business considerations. So here he favors business considerations on health considerations. So here, considering his words, so what is Kafka's trying to reveal about society's opinion of workers? What do you think? A worker's comfort and health is second to production of work. What comes first? Production of work. What comes second? Your health. Actually, he's trying to warn people about how modern corporations have affected society and demeaned workers. And of course, this enhances the idea of dehumanization. By moving on to page 102, you're going to encounter two questions. And please consider this paragraph. Okay, so consider this paragraph. This is about Gregor's conversation with the chief clerk. He was locked in his room and the chief clerk is talking to him. Okay, Gregor here is trying to give some excuses of his absence. He is worried about being fired. So consider this part, please. And have a look on Gregor's choice of words here. What do they show? And what inference can you make about Gregor here in that part? And concerning Gregor's choice of words, which emotion is evoked here? And when you have a look on some phrases or words, just a moment, okay, this one, or be patient. He asked him so many times to be patient, and I'm quite fresh again now, okay? And the word here, be patient, he kept just a moment, he kept repeating such words. Which emotion is revealed here? Yes, it's about anxiety. So this person, or Gregor here, is so anxious about losing his job. And when you consider this highlighted part, there is no basis of any of the accusations you're making. Nobody's ever said a word to me about any of these things before. If you move down to read the part, the inference about Gregor here is clear. So this person is responsible and has a sense of duty towards his family. He thinks he will lose his job, which will negatively impact his family and affect how others view him. And when you move to page 104 in your book, okay, then you'll find the lines starting from 385 till 391. Pause the video, read those lines, and answer this question, please. The question is, what they have learned, or what you have learned about Gregor's personality in this part. And by illustrating some words like, well done, Gregor, and was greatly encouraged by this, and the key with all his strength, you'll find out that Gregor has a strong sense of family duty. He feels isolated from his family and society, and he's more concerned about others than he is about himself. Consider this. So, paying no attention to the pain he was causing to himself. He didn't care about himself, but he cares about others. And also when he catches the keys with all his strength, after he was encouraged to buy them outside his room, It means that this person lacks appreciation. This person wants to feel appreciated and valued. Move to the last page to consider the last question here. The question is, what inference can you make about the way the chief clerk, Gregor's mother, and his father react after seeing Gregor? And why do you think each character acts this way? Read this part to learn about the characters' reactions towards Gregor after seeing him as an insect. Let's highlight that chief clerk's reaction here. He gave that big O, he exclaimed, which sounded like of the wind, soughing of the wind. Now he also saw him. He was the nearest to the door, his hand pressed against his open mouth and slowly retreating. Retreating means going back, as if driven by a steady and invisible force. Okay, so this is about the clerk's reaction. As for his mother, consider this. She unfolded her arms, took 2 steps forward towards Gregor, and sank down onto the floor into her skirts that spread themselves out around her as her head disappeared down onto her breast. And then his father looked hostile, and then he looked uncertainly ran the living room, covered his eyes with his hands, and wept so that his powerful chest shook. To clarify their reactions, so Gregor was observed by all of them. As for the clerk, he was so afraid, and the mother falls to the floor and sobs, and the father becomes angry and then sad. Based on their reactions, we can infer that they will further isolate Gregor, leaving Gregor alone to resolve the conflict. He will become more and more isolated. Thanks for watching.